welcome everybody to the Javie's Late Show. My name is Javie, and today I have a very special guest with me today, and that special guest is
Wyatt.
Mr. Wyatt
Wadzink.
Wadzink.
Yep.
He's a producer of country music Jubilee. It's a very popular show, and I'm gonna have Wyatt tell us more about that.
Well, we started it about 7 years ago. It was in July of '08, and it was after I came off the road from being publicist for Country Music Hall of Famer. But I didn't want to travel Texas and all that with him anymore, so I did that for 5.5 years. So I decided to just plant myself here back in Minnesota and sold my house down there in Texas. So I just
That's
came.
right. I think we're neighbors at one time.
Yeah.
Out in Texas. That's
Yeah,
right.
that was in Donna,
Yep.
Texas. But it was nice down there, but it was just too expensive and too much driving, 1,500 miles one way, you know.
That's a long way.
But the show idea came across when I saw that you had training and you would prepare us for heavy duty here in the camera studios. But I checked with a good friend of mine who is now deceased, and he had performed with the KSTP Sunset Valley Barn Dance when that was popular here in Minnesota. And it started, David Stone started that show coming from Nashville. He brought the show up here into polka land. This was polka country up here, and he had the guts to bring up a country music show. He did very well with it. He had Gene Autry and Roy Rogers. He had the big names up here, and little Jimmy Dickens and all of them. And then, so I couldn't get a hold of David Stone. I understand he was still alive, living in Stillwater. But I did talk to this friend of mine, Johnny Voigt, and he's a fiddler, really outstanding. But he gave me some ins and outs, what to look out for in a show, and what I should concentrate on, which was audio was the important thing. If you've got a music show, audio is it. Without audio, you don't have a decent show.
That's right. I mean, that goes for a lot of things too. I mean, if you have bad audio on anything really,
Right.
you're just not gonna sit there and just listen to that crackling
Yep.
sound. So, so you've been doing this for quite a long time now.
I've been in music since 50 years.
50 years.
Promoting,
Wow.
and I've been booking agent. I had my own booking agency for a while,
Okay.
and I also had a recording label, which was Dondi Recordings, and that was back in the old 45 days.
Okay.
45 RPM discs, you know, that
The
you get.
records,
The same size
yeah.
now as the CDs, but they have CDs have a smaller hole in them.
I see. Okay. So you've been in the music industry for 50 years.
Yeah.
You've been a volunteer for 7 years.
For 7 years here.
And you know what you told me before the cameras came up is that you told me you have the longest living volunteer for your
Yep.
production.
We make sure she gets a ride. She can't drive anymore. We make sure she gets to the show, and she just loves it. She feels like she's part of the family yet. 38 years, I think, she's been here as a volunteer at this station, contest
Wow.
station. So
That's a good time right
that's
there.
yeah. So I just assume, you know, we don't work her too hard.
Yeah.
We
that's
work her
good.
pretty easy. You know.
I still watch her come in and
Yeah.
gonna control the cameras and so on.
Yep.
So that's really good. I'm glad she still has a part in production.
That's
or,
it.
You know, you have a place for
I
her.
was thinking of just having her come in for the show, but I think she wants to feel like she's part of it and her name gets mentioned when
Yeah.
it comes down to the volunteers, when I thank them.
I see.
And
You wanna-
without them, I wouldn't have a show.
Of course. I mean, it's all about the volunteers
That's
who
right.
come in, help the production out.
Yep,
They're the first ones here, the last ones to leave.
absolutely. They set up and they tear down.
Yeah, I mean, we owe them a lot for, spending
it.
their free time with us and, just getting the whole production ready. And it sounds good every time.
When I get emails from around the country that comment on our show.
That's right. So why don't you tell the volunteers where your music has ended up and where
Right
it's
now
going?
our show is being aired in over 1 million homes nationally, And we're also on the internet 6 days a week. So people can go to our website, countrymusicjubilee.com, and find out what days, what times, and how to get on those stations. They're streamed by 3 different stations.
Hosting sites?
So
Okay.
on Saturday and Sunday, they're on twice. We're on
Wow.
twice. So I say there because I'm including my volunteers. It's their show, not my show. It's
Yeah.
their show.
You do it for them. They come
Yeah.
in. They
Well,
sit down.
they make
enjoy
it
the
possible
show.
for
Yeah.
me to do what I do, and I appreciate them, 100%. So
Oh, of course.
that's the thing and anybody that wants to have a show, you got to have happy campers on your staff,
Yeah.
and that's what it takes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's really good. And so it's a country music jubilee, right? So it's
Right.
all country music. Has there been any
No.
time where you've thought of bringing something else in?
Oh,
for
we do.
everybody?
We bring in
Okay.
bluegrass, a lot of bluegrass. I've been a member of the Minnesota Bluegrass and Old Time Music Association for 40 years.
Wow.
So
Just as long as you've been behind the music for 50
just
years.
about, yeah.
Wow.
And so I've been a member, so I can tap those members. There's a lot of bands in that membership, and I get a list of all of them, so I can pick and choose. And then I have some of the cream of the crop really out of that. But we have country groups from around the country. They come in from Chicago and Galveston, Texas. Had them from Michigan. Had the international yodeling champion on.
Really?
And
Wow.
2 country Hall of Famers. In this last show I had scheduled was 3 country Hall of Famers on one show.
That's right. This was supposed to be the all-star kind of production.
It was supposed to be my Hall of Fame show,
Okay.
but the one Hall of Famer's got cancer very bad, and he's taking chemo, and he wasn't healthy enough to make the trip and come in here.
Yeah.
So we just had 2 of the Hall of Famers, but the stand-in is somebody I've known with a number of other bands, and he is very accomplished. So we were happy. It was a terrific show.
Oh, that's
But
really good.
We get family bands in here. I had one band that's a family group from southern Minnesota, 2 young daughters and a mother and a father, and he is known as the Yodelmeister, the Alpine Yodelmeister.
Wow.
Now, yodeling the way he does, that's like Germany and Yugoslavia in that area, and trying to think, Austria. And that's the style of yodeling he does, which brings in a little, like you said, it's different music.
Awesome.
We bring in a lot of Cajun, as much as I can get, but most of it I had to bring a group up from Galveston to do Cajun and
Galveston,
Texas.
Texas. Wow. So the Cajun, that when you had that here last time, that was really exciting. I never
Yeah.
heard anything like so, right here.
Right.
Watching it in person. I was like, oh, this is really fun. And that's the best part about it. It's like you produce the shows, you have everybody come in, and it's like how can the people get in contact with you? I mean, you said there was a website, right?
Website, countrymusicjubilee.com, and they can come in if they live in the area or are in Minnesota or Minneapolis area. They can come in and be part of the audience.
Because they would have to
Live.
reserve their seats, right?
They'd have to call the number that's on my website and reserve how many seats they would need for their party.
Okay.
So we don't have people standing. I mean, we're limited in space and number of chairs, but sometimes we have to steal the secretary's chair.
Yeah, or my chair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yours,
it's
right.
been done.
So, it's just, we have fun with it, and it has to be, or it's work.
Yeah.
If you don't have fun with it, it becomes work, and you can't expect volunteers to give up their Saturday to come in and record a show if it's not fun.
That's correct. And it happens every fourth Saturday?
Fourth Saturday of the month.
Okay.
Unless there's something like a holiday that weekend, then we move it up to the Sunday before.
Okay.
Like in May, we had to move ours up
Oh, that's correct.
to Sunday. And we don't tape in November and December because our fourth Saturday runs into Thanksgiving.
That's
And
right.
between Christmas and New Year's, and I want my volunteers to spend that time with their family
Of course.
and not come in. So sometimes we'll do 2 shows on a Saturday,
Okay.
so we've got those 2 months covered.
And you're always 2 months ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. So you're always 2 months ahead of time on
Yeah.
production. So how do you schedule that for your bands to come in? You give them a call a year ahead, right?
I go out and hear them
Okay.
if they're local. Otherwise, I'd like a CD of their music and so forth, and then I will make the decision
Cool.
and give them an option, which month.
Oh.
Right now,
okay.
I'm booked up through June.
Really? Okay.
And then I've got July, August, September, and one of our top bands that was on a couple of years ago is coming back, but they're not sure whether it's going to be September or August. One of those 2 that they're coming in.
Okay.
So I work with the bands when they're not, they're not booked. But what I tell them is we tape in the afternoons from 2 to 3 normally. So they don't have to miss their nighttime gig if they've got a booking for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
of
we
course.
can't pay as a nonprofit studio, nonprofit director, and nonprofit
Volunteers
staff.
working for free. That's
Yeah,
right.
we're thankful to NWCT for providing us with the equipment and the studio to work with, the training, and believe me, that training, you never get enough of it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things I don't know, but I have people that know.
Yeah.
I
and-
have people that know graphics and put up the names of the songs and the artists. I have great sound people, and I have a backload on those just in case somebody can't make it. I can call somebody else and they fit right in.
correct. And
We've got 13 volunteers on our show, so it's a little bit hard to coordinate, and I can't be everywhere. So once they learn their job, I leave them alone. They know what we have to do, and they do a good job.
and they've been doing it for a while too.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's it.
And I've definitely recommend if you're ever gonna be in the area, you want to see a production happen, as in this case, Wyatt's Country Music Jubilee. Come on in. We could easily find you a spot.
Right.
It's not gonna be you come in and we're gonna shoo you away. No, it's like we want you to stay here, look at it, what's happening, and see what you can pick up. It's pretty simple, and you always done that, right?
Yeah.
You've always
and if you
accepted
happen
everybody.
to enjoy what you see and would like to be part of it, if you live in the 9-city area of Northwest Television here, you can come in and take the classes and be trained, and you can come in and volunteer on our show. So you're seeing that good music every month.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
And-
see it before everybody else does, except people in the audience. but
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you one question. It just popped in my head earlier. Would you ever do a live show?
I would consider doing a live show. I've also considered doing an on-site show.
Oh, okay.
But I've got to make sure I've got camera people that can operate the portable cameras and the portable studio equipment so we can get a good quality show. So I have to find the people. I'm one of these bosses that doesn't boss. I make sure I got people around me that know the job. And
There you
I'm
go.
looking good, man. I can look really good, you
That's
know?
right. Yeah, you just stand back and watch everything
That's
happen.
right.
Yeah.
And when I wear my red sport coat, I have a guy that constantly emails me, and he says, "You look like a used car salesman."
But you look the most like important car salesman in
Yeah,
ever
right.
in history. So it's a compliment almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you
that's
look
what
very sharp.
I don't get offended by it. I wish the guy would come in, and
That's right.
if I knew he was coming, I'd wear the red sport coat
Yeah.
for him. But
So-
no, we have a good show. It's fun, it's entertaining, and we honor some of the people, like our theme song. We honor a good friend of mine, Leroy Glazer. He passed away with cancer the very day we taped our first show.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he and his wife had given us authorization to use one of his songs off of his CD, forever, if we want.
Oh, so that's the intro song of
That's the intro song, and he
Wow.
performed every instrument
Really?
on that recording. Drums, everything.
I never knew that.
I got a number of songs by him.
That's
Larry
awesome.
Glazer, and
Okay.
his wife is on Radio 800 AM up in St. Cloud.
Okay.
So, I keep in touch with her, and but it was nice that they opened the door and just said we could use it. So it's a real good sound,
That's
and anybody
really
hears it.
nice. Wow.
So appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, I really appreciate you
This is
coming
fun.
in. Very short second, but I really appreciate it.
A lot of times like to reach people that don't watch the show necessarily
Yeah.
and tell them what they can expect
Yeah.
tuning in. And we're on Friday nights in the northwest suburbs
Okay.
at 9:30 till 10:30, and it's on channel 19. And Saturday morning, I think it's 5:30 in the morning, and at 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. So it's every week, every weekend, Friday and Saturday. So it's the same show for a few weeks because we only tape once a month. And if you tape once a month, you can't. Right now we've got 77 shows under our belt.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And they're hour shows. So
All right.
it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too. So if
Awesome.
you can come in and watch the show, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you again, Wyatt.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
And again, this is Javie's Late Show. If you have any questions, please contact us at 763-278-4330 or at nwct.org. All right, take it easy. My name was Javie. Enjoy your day, night, time. All right, bye.
Yeah.